Okay, this is a programmable air pressure regulator, and this is kind of the instructions to it. This is what it looks like. You got your wiring harness, a map sensor for feedback, you got your solenoids that control the pressure. Wiring is pretty simple. Red goes to ignition, black goes to ground, gray goes to an activation switch, yellow goes to a start trigger, which would be trans brake, clutch switch, throttle switch, something like that. Blue is a grounding output for a I got inside the controller there's two auxiliary timer outputs. This is timer 1 output. The purple wire is timer 2 output. These are grounding outputs, so whatever, they're meant to trigger a relay. So if you got them hooked to a relay, the other side of the relay you had hooked to 12 volts, so that this activates the ground side of it. The main screen shows the current time after the start sequence, current CO2 and voltage. And I said that there's two timed outputs, auxiliary outputs. To get to them in the programming, you use the up button. And there's the first one, so you can choose time on and time off. The second one, time on, time off. And from the main screen, to set up the actual CO2 curve, you hit mode. And this is start PSI, so as soon as you flip your arm switch, it's going to go to whatever this setting is. So as soon as we flipped our activation switch, it's going to apply 50 psi. We hit enter, and we can choose how many stages of ramp that we want it to be. So we're just going to do 1. So this, you see that I got time 0. Let's just I'm going to put time at 1 second. And we're going to go at a rate of 10 and ending PSI of 10. So the way this thing is going to start, as soon as you flip your arm switch, it's going to have 50 PSI. And as soon as you hit the activation trigger, which would be your throttle switch or your trans brake or clutch switch, it's going to go another 1 second into the run at 50 PSI, and then at that point it's going to start bleeding it down. And show you what it looks like. We're going to activate it. Now I'm going to press, and I'm pressing the trans brake button now, or the trigger button. As soon as I release it, so at that point it bled down. And if we want to see what it did, you can go to the enter button from the main screen, and that's the data log. And this is live. You can go to this screen and recycle it, so we'll do it again. So as soon as I press and release the trigger, you'll see it run across the screen, which is going to overlap what you already see. I know you couldn't tell too much difference on it, so we'll get out of that and we'll change it. We go back to the data log screen, arm the system. Now I'm going to trigger it. So at that point you could actually see the difference. So this screen here, you can use it to kind of tailor what you want the curve to look like. And like I said, the grounding outputs from the main screen, you use the up button to get to those. And like I said, these are two auxiliary outputs that can be used for various reasons. And that's pretty much it.